Hey everyone, I'm Lily, and today I am not doing a new deck tech. Instead, I am going to be doing something a little different, and something that's been asked for my EDH decks, and that's kind of showing the process through which I make my decks. And so this is probably going to be a multi-part video, because this isn't a short process, but yeah, so today, based on a poll I did, about like a month ago, probably at this point, I'm doing a building deck for Wasitora Nekoro Queen, who most importantly is a cat dragon. So, cat dragon. Also, if you want to vote on the next video I do a deck tech on, there'll be a poll in the comments. It's going to be the same poll as the one on the Sir video because I made Sir and wanted to do this one, and it's really long. So check that out there. Also, after this video, if you want to see the deck as is, before I make cuts or anything, I'll put the link to the deck box link in the description. Although that does depend on how far we get. If we don't get to the point where we're not making cuts, I won't do that. So, yeah. Well, once all the pieces are out, I'll put the link in the description even on this video if you want to check it out. So, yeah. So, Wasitora Nekoro Queen. She's 2 black, red, and green, so Jund. 5 mana to cast, which is honestly a little bit nicer because with 5 mana commanders, you don't need to pressure yourself to have the 2 mana ramp as much. Because with the 4 mana commanders, you want to get turn 1 mana, turn 2 2 mana, ramp to 3 mana, turn 4 4 mana commander. This one you can skip on turn 3. You can just be ramping to 5 if you want, so you don't have as much pressure. That said, Wasitora is green, so it's makes it a little bit easier to get there. But yeah, Wasitora Nekoro Queen. But she's a 5/4 flying trample, so really a good beater. I've seen people who do Voltron-y stuff with her, but that's not really what I want to do. And whenever Wasitora deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. If that player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, and green cat dragon creature token with flying. So they have to, she makes you sacrifice creatures and stuff and all that, and essentially then fill your own board of cat dragons and stuff. So I've decided to go the boring route, and I'm going to build Dragon Tribal, because dragons. Now, the common way to build Dragon Tribal is 5 color, with the Ur Dragon, or Scion of the Ur Dragon, or, okay, those two. But, I don't know, I don't have the mana base right now to really support another 5 color deck, so I'm going to go 3 color, which helps your mana considerably. Also, as of all the colors, white and blue really offer the least to Dragon Tribal. Sure, there's a few all-stars in those colors, but they're not amazing. They're not the, 1 or 2 cards is not the reason to run a whole new color. I know I'm not the son to say that. I really put way too many colors than is necessary in my decks, but sue me. Yeah, but Wasitora Nekoro Queen. So we're doing that, but also we're gonna have a minor sacrifice something. So if we find anything that benefits from our opponent sacrificing stuff, or yeah, we'll try to put that in there too. So I have my 4 boxes. So we have my black, red, and green boxes, which is just where I store my cards. I have these big BCW boxes that I organize in by color, and each one is by set. I guess I could just show you. Also, they're decorated by me and my best friend, so that's very nice. Some people do fancy stuff with their deck boxes, but really, doesn't this just say black? This is beautiful. This is true artwork. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, no, it's dumb, but I enjoy it. But then it's all sword preserve set and whatnot. This one also contains a random deck. Which one deck is that? Oh, it's Brago. And then my basic land collection, which I have not actually, I need to do stuff with. So, but let's jump right into it. And I'm going to be starting with this one. This is just a magic gift box that is using for my gold and artifacts and stuff like that. It is almost full, and I needed to get a bigger box for these. So, yeah. So, and pretty much what I do is I just start going through them. I just go through section by section by section and try to figure out like what I want and like pull things and like sort them out in front of me and figure out what I want and like cut it down from there, where I'm very organic with, I like building from my collection, and I just kind of go through step by step and find what I want. I do have some proxies here. We'll actually just check those cards, but I'll like write down with Sharpie if I need to like have a placeholder when constructing it. So I also remember I also didn't take the proxies when I go up to like Card Kingdom or whatever to buy new singles and stuff. I don't typically buy singles that are too expensive. It's usually things like I need more signets or more rampant growths or cultivates or whatever, and I'll write them there. I'm probably not do too much of the writing there. I'll probably be off camera as I figure it out, and I'll let you know what's going on. Of course, by the time I shoot the next video, I might have actually already run up to Card Kingdom, so who knows. Just know that that is part of my stuff, my process that I'm not probably going to do here, because I don't want to be sitting here with like EDH rec up and like all my notes and whatnot. Alright, let's start out. Silver border. No, I don't want silver border land. That was actually one thought that I had for this deck, was actually going more silver bordered and doing kind of like a dice rolling theme deck, but because like Jund was like probably the best colors for dice rolling and unstable, but there just wasn't enough really to make it worthwhile. So yeah. Alrighty. So this is a budget deck, so first up we have vintage lands. This also includes like supplemental set lands. The categorization in this one is kind of weird, but yeah. So, as such, I'm not actually going to be cutting, like, if there's lands in the colors, I'm going to put it into, like, the list, and we'll cut them down to, like, get the right number of individuals, valuable tap lands and stuff. I mean, we're not running a 5-color deck, so we're not, like, super pressure on mana, but we are still 3-colored. But that also said we're green, so, yeah. I kind of wait to figure out land balance in the end towards like the last parts of the deck building, because then I can plug everything in deck tapped out and like calculate mana symbols and look at that and do a more in-depth analysis of what I'm doing. So, Spire Rock Knoll. This is the hideaway land that it requires an opponent to be dealt 7 or more damage. I mean, Westar alone's 5 of that, and honestly with dragons you're not going to have trouble like getting in damage, assuming you're just getting your board wiped, but then you have other problems. Nope, clear. You have all 3 Jund bounce lands. Ready to go. Cinder Barrens, Rakdos Guildgate, Urborg Volcano. Ready. Have I already arranged these? I think I might have already arranged these. So, Haven of the Spirit Dragon. I did get the precon for dragons and then just never built a dragon deck, so I have a lot of those pieces in there. You'll be seeing them a lot. But, this one lets you, it's a 5-color land for dragons and also lets you recur things. We're not like strict dragon tribal, but we're gonna have a lot of dragons, because like, I want to build dragon tribal because the dragon deck's fun. And one day I might actually update it to be a dragon deck. Rugged Highlands, Mosswar Bridge. This one is the highway that requires 10 or greater power. And then Outpost Falls, Rupture Spire. There's an Evolving Wilds here, but I don't like this art for Evolving Wilds, so I'm going to wait because I know I have other Evolving Wilds. Leeches and Swamp isn't really the thing I want to be doing. Up here, the Terramorphic Expanse. That's important. Alright, next we're on to our modern lands. I don't actually have that many of these. Well, also because, just for organization purposes, the Frontier format is very nice for like splitting up when you're dividing my format, because Modern's very large. And also I now have my Frontier section too, because even though Frontier kind of died, it's still useful as a categorization. Jund Panorama. These are the really bad fetch lands. They only fetch basics, and they only fetch one of three types. But they come in untapped for when you need the mana immediately, and then like usually in EDH you have like some amount of free mana available to get them out of the way at one point. Okay, next we're up to the Frontierlands, so everything from N15 on. I have a Temper Gorge, Cinder Barrens. I'm probably repeating some of these. A Blighted Woodland, but I'll figure that out when I like go back through everything. A Foul Orchard. Crumbling Visage, Ruin Spires, Central Bridge. Okay. It's a lot of just like flipping through stuff until you find something like, thanks Ray. There's no Long Wilds who's already like, I don't know, probably because I started about the time, but I just love the Battle for Zendikar Evolving Wilds art. It's just, beautiful. Like, I get that other ones people might have nostalgia for, but I just really like that one. Up here's a just strict tap land. It's the Shadowland for Gruul. Shadowland's not great, but we'll use them. Another thing that I'll probably do after all these things is that also, after I go through the boxes, is I'll go through my trade binder, which is somewhere over there, and see if there's something in my trade binder that I want to pull and put in there, but I'll do that after the fact. Leadfilled Cave. Onto our game lands. Jungle Hollow. Pretty sure I already did one of these. Yeah, Rugged Highland. Yeah, I'm definitely sure I did one of those already. But oh well. And there we go. Next up we are up to Standard Lands. Ooh. We're up to War. It's not really what I'm looking to do, but maybe. Because, like, I mean, it's not great. Ender's Valuable Tap only has red, and you can pay 5 and just sack it to destroy a land. But that said, I don't have any strip mines or wastelands, so... And lands are an issue after Ixalan block in EDH, because more people run them and whatnot. I guess we could also just run a Field of Ruin. That would make more sense. In a couple of the deserts that's cycling. I don't think the deserts will make the cut, just because we're already running 3 colors, so we don't really have that much room for just random utilities, but we'll see. Zalfrin Void. Just a Scryland. Now that's a utility that's like useful enough that I'm like more willing to run it. And not much else to look for. Okay. Next up, we are at Vintage Artifacts. So, alright, so Quenya Spike. So this, that was all lands that we were looking at. I'll also then fill it out with basics and whatnot later, but I'll wait till the end to do that. I do a pretty standard land distribution, 38, and then about 8-10 ramp sources. I'll probably be leaning on the higher end of ramp sources because dragons are typically bigger and a higher curve than your average thing. Quenya Spike. When equipped plate creature deals common damage to a player, that creature loses half of his or her life rounded up. That's not really what we're looking to do. Boom Pile. I mean, it's not ideal, but it is a board wipe. No, I'm gonna save that for my contraptions deck. Hedron Matrix. Creature plus gets +X where X is its CMC. I mean, Wellstar is a 5/4 or 5 mana, so it would be a +5/+5 on a flying trample. Maybe. We're not trying to go Voltron, but maybe. Mirror of the Forebears, not really what I'm going to do. Oh, Nihil's Spellbomb for just random removal. So this is kind of the categories I have after this, is I have with lands, you can't see them, but lands, ramp, removal, that includes whiteboard wipes and stuff like that. They'll probably have like dragons, card draw, and other. So it's like the main theme, card draw and other. Oh, Steel Hellkite, that's a dragon. That's a very good dragon. Fractured Power Stone. Our groups do play with Planechase a lot, and that is just a 2-mana ramper, so maybe. But otherwise, not too much else here. Alright, next up. Rakdos Cluestone, Golgari Cluestone. Oh, those both will go in there. Those will probably not make the cut because we do have access to green ramp, and I'll probably pick up some signets, but might as well. I like signet that's really pricey that I wouldn't consider getting, like for decks, like going out of my way to get, is probably Dimir, because for some, it's like used in modern and is then expensive, but it's like, all the others aren't that bad. Even then, I'll probably pick up like a Farseek, and I think I have Rampargroves, but I might just pick up Rampargrove. And Kodamas Reach is actually getting a little bit more pricey than like willing to buy in bulk. Nothing much that we're finding in these random artifacts. I mean, a Turk. Okay, so these are the ramp, the 3-mana ramps that turn into dragons, which might be relevant because we're running Dragon Tribal, and our dragons might be slightly better. So, 2 monuments we can run. One thing in lands I do want to pick up is that I do need a new Savage Lands, so the Jund Triad land. I'm out of them. I didn't play during Khan's block, so I didn't start till Shadows, so I didn't get a lot of 3-color goodies. Wait, Savage Lands wasn't in Khan's block. I wouldn't have gotten it anyway. That was Alara. But either way, I need it. Brawler's Plate, that's not really going good. We don't need to give Wasidar Trample. Honestly, Wasidar is hard to block regardless, so it's like getting Wasidar in to do combo damage isn't a problem. I do want to get that one equipment, I forgot what it's called, that gives it double strike, because then you can double its triggers. It's so many Cataracts. Ooh, this is one I definitely want to add a Helm of the Host to, if I have another copy of that from Dominaria. Hedron Archive. You know, it's a 4-mana ramp that adds 2, but because we're running with dragons, that might not be a bad thing to have. Crawler. Not much from Battle for Zendikar block. Shadows over Innistrad. I don't think I know of any lands that will, or artifacts that'll be good for here. Yeah, not really that I'm looking for. Works. Also not much that I'm actually like really looking to get. Yeah. Okay. Next we have Kaladesh block, and there's a lot of artifacts I have from Kaladesh, both from Kaladesh having a lot of artifacts and me both drafting a lot of Kaladesh. So I'm actually not going to go through all of them because I don't think there's anything in particular I want. Ori, yeah, not really. And then, nope, also not anything really in Aether Bolt. Okay. Amonkhet. Throne of the God Pharaoh. Not really, we're not really that super go wide deck. Although, maybe in Warriors I should put that into. Maybe. All the shrines are pretty lackluster. Oracle's Vault could be interesting, because we are running like dragons, which are like kind of high CMC, and that can help cheat a lot of mana costs. Our Devastation. I don't think there's too much that we want from here either. Yeah, not really. Ixalan block. I don't mind a Razka Relic. It's the one you can sacrifice to draw land and give them life once you get something. It also probably will not make the cut, but might as well just take it out anyway, just in case. Dominaria. Shield of the Realm, not really. Blood Towel Candle, not really. Joyra's Familiar. Historic spells costing 1 less to cast, like, isn't bad because like a lot of dragons are legendary, but at the same time, it is 4 mana for like a ramp source, which I'm not really looking for. Thraxos Scourge of Krug. No, that's not what I'm looking to do. Short Sword, Tamping Sphere, Navigator's Compass, not really. Not too many from artifacts from Dominaria I really want. Modern Colorless, not much. I mean, I'm not running Scion of Ugins. Okay. Battle for Zendikar, colorless. And it's mostly Eldrazi, which isn't... There's no Eldrazi dragons, so not really what I'm looking to do. Yeah. These are Eldritch Moon colorless, so the Emerge creatures. I loved this format. That was a fun format. Cipher bordered gold cards. That's not really well. Okay, so here's where the power is. This is the gold cards. Also very easy to flip through because there's a lot of them that just can't be put in the deck. Rural War Chant. Not really what we're looking to do. Necrogenesis, Coiling Oracle, Texas Return. Pinecone Hit the Roof. Okay. Into the Dreamer. We can't play that. Tremoka. This is also a place where I'd like to start, like, if I was like, okay, let's try, like, I want to do Dragon Tribal. Do I want to do more than one Dragon color? I'd like start, like, putting aside, like, cards that, like, might want me to draw anything, like Dromoka or something like that, that, like, be like, oh, I might actually want that card. But I'm pretty set in on cat dragons, because cat dragons, yeah. So, the Big Dad itself, or dragon. Okay. Oh, Bladewing the Risen. Oh, okay. Okay. Bladewing the Risen. This is an amazing dragon. It's 3 black, red. So, 7 mana. When it enters the battlefield, you get to recur a dragon from your graveyard, and you can also pay black and a red to give all your dragons +1/+1. But I like the Iconic Masters art better from this one, so I'm not going to use that one. Fires of Yavimaya. I might put this in because it gives all of my creatures haste, and that is very useful when you have like big dragons and whatnot, so that's something I'm looking to put in there. Part of me does want to put Guttural Response in because just no one sees this coming. You know, we'll put it in there for now. Just like, yeah, no one expects the counter from the Jund deck. Granted, it only takes blue spells, but in my play group, there's usually someone who's playing blue. Okay, what else? Lots of vintage gold from Commander decks and things like that. Not that I haven't even gone that many Commander decks. Super pumped for Commander Day 2018. Gonna be Planeswalkers. Oh yeah. Grave Upheaval. It recurs a dragon, but you can also face a clean cycling it. Well, it recurs anything, but I mean, 6 mana for something that will probably recur so nice, and when you need to, is just a good card. Same thing with Treacherous Train. Artifact Mutation. It's red and green to destroy an artifact and make that into Saprolings, so that's nice. Oh, here we are. A Tarka World Render. It gives all my dragons double strike whenever it attacks, or yeah. Well, whenever they attack. Savage Ventmaw. This one just gives you a bunch of mana to ramp into more dragons. Here's the art of Blade Ring the Risen I want. Broodmate Dragon. It's just comes as 2 dragons, so dragons. Kolgahan. It gives all of my dragons whenever they attack +1/+0. And each of them, so all of them kind of like semi-pump each other. Hellkite Hatchling. This one has Devour 1. That's not really what I'm looking to do. We're not making small things to devour or whatnot. Dragonlair Spider. That's also not really what we're looking to do. Oh, Maelstrom Wanderer. That's on the list for the possible decks, because doing a Maelstrom Wanderer Teamer Energy deck. Okay. Alright, that's all it for vintage gold. Now on to modern gold. It's not gonna be quite as much here because it's not as like stacked and like supplemental products. They're like made for like EDH and competitiveness and whatnot. And it's more like, oh look, here's some Ravnica Couple Trap. Yay. But hey, it's still can find useful stuff. I say that, and maybe just random removal. Oh, Jun Charm. This one removes target player. It removes a graveyard or deals 2 damage to a creature, or you get +2/+1 counters. That's fine. But yeah, no, it's very organic. It's relaxing. Like, I mean, this is honestly taking like longer than I expected it to be. I was thinking that like 1 or 2 part video. No, this is probably gonna be like a 5-part video. So yeah. So look forward to this. I'll try to get out like relatively quickly, so I'll probably do like 2 videos this week, do a couple more, and try to finish this in the next few weeks. But yeah. Alright, not too much coming out of random modern gold cards. So yeah. And next up to Frontier Gold. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, no, it's not the most ideal way to like build decks in terms of like getting the putting together like the best like this doesn't give you optimal decks, but it gives me like fun decks that are personal to me because it's like these are the cards I own and like it forces me to go into certain directions because of like things I do and do not have, and yeah. Groove from where it's not what I want. There's dragons I can't put in this deck. Okay, I don't actually have that many of the gold dragons from because I didn't play during Trakir, so I did not open that much Dragons Trakir. Okay, standard gold, stuff I'm actually more familiar with. Oh, here we are. I have a Darigaz reincarnated. That's a good Jund dragon. What else we got? Dinosaurs, not really what we're looking to do. Unfortunately. One day I'll build a dinosaur deck, just not now. Yeah, there have not been multicolored dragons really since, well, besides like the occasional Dargaz, since Dragons Trakir, so there isn't too much here. We'll get more, more when we, wordsmith things. Go into the individual colors. Especially this box, red. Turns out red has a lot of dragons in it. Yeah, there isn't too much we have in there. Alright, and that is about it for our multicolor cards. So we got a good start to like the piles and figure out what we're doing. I'll probably cut this episode here and probably do like a box per episode. Although green and black you probably get to in the same episode, but yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this first part of the video. It's more of kind of like a just ramble and talking about like what I'm doing rather than being like a quick, clean, like, this is what I'm doing. But, yeah, well, I hope you found it relaxing if nothing else, and I'll talk to you all later. Alright, bye-bye.